The transmission arrived on a Tuesday morning, crackling through the deep space communication arrays with the desperate urgency of a dying star. Dr. Sarah Chen was the first to decode it at the Arecibo successor station. Her coffee growing cold as alien symbols resolved into meaning on her screen. "Please," the message began, translated through humanity's most advanced xenolinguistic algorithms. "We are the Kithara. Our worlds burn. The devourers consume all. We have nothing left to give but this plea. Help us." Attached were coordinates to a system 47 light-years away, and grainy images of crystalline cities being torn apart by writhing metallic organisms that seemed to dissolve everything they touched. The Kithara themselves appeared in the final frames, tall, graceful beings with translucent skin that shifted through pastel colors, their large eyes filled with terror as their civilization crumbled. Within hours, the message had reached every major government on Earth. Within days, the Global Space Command had made an unprecedented decision. Humanity would answer. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, humanity's first faster-than-light capable warship, as they dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Kithara space. What they found defied every diplomatic protocol in the book. The Devourers were everywhere, massive biomechanical entities that moved like liquid metal through space, consuming asteroids, moons, and anything else in their path. 3 Kithara worlds remained, their surfaces scarred by the ongoing assault. Refugee ships fled in panic between them, many falling prey to the relentless swarm. "Sir," reported Lieutenant Commander Hassan from the weapons station, "I'm reading over 2 million individual devourer entities. They're eating the star." Rodriguez watched in horror as tendrils of the alien swarm extended into the corona of the system's sun, somehow draining its energy. "How long until complete stellar collapse?" "At this rate? 6 months, maybe less." The captain opened a channel to Earth Command. "This is Prometheus. Situation is worse than projected. Requesting immediate deployment of Relief Protocol 7. Admiral Thompson's weathered face appeared on screen. "Elena, are you sure? 7 hasn't been tested at this scale." "Sir, these beings are going to be extinct in months if we don't act. Protocol 7 is their only chance." "Authorized. Godspeed, Captain." What happened next became legend throughout the galaxy. The first wave wasn't military, it was humanitarian. 12 massive cargo ships materialized in system, their holds filled with what Earth called the essentials. Medical supplies, water purification systems, and enough preserved food to feed 3 billion Kithara for a year. But the aliens were bewildered by one particular cargo. "What is this?" asked High Curator Vithatal as he examined a simple loaf of bread aboard the refugee ship that had become his people's temporary capital. Dr. James Park, the mission's chief xenobiologist, smiled as he broke off a piece. "We call it sourdough. It's comfort food. When humans are scared or displaced, we break bread together. It helps us remember we're not alone." The Kithara's skin shimmered through confused purples and blues. "You traveled 47 light-years to bring us comfort?" "Among other things," Park replied, offering the alien leader a piece. "Try it." As the Kithara cautiously tasted human bread for the first time, the second wave arrived. 50 Earth Defense Force ships dropped out of hyperspace, their hulls bristling with weapons that had never been tested against an alien threat. But humanity had one advantage the Devourers hadn't encountered. They were incredibly creatively violent when defending their friends. "All ships," Rodriguez broadcast, "remember, we're not just fighting for the Kithara. We're fighting for the right of every species to exist. Make them pay for every inch." The battle was unlike anything in recorded history. Human weapons designed for warfare against their own species proved devastatingly effective against the biomechanical swarm. Kinetic rounds shattered devourer shells. Plasma cannons boiled their fluid cores, and fusion warheads created expanding spheres of destruction that consumed thousands at a time. But the human secret weapon wasn't technological, it was tactical. Where the Kithara had fought defensively, trying to protect what remained, humans fought like predators, hunting the Devourers through asteroid fields and using the system's gas giant as cover for ambush attacks. "Sir," reported Commander Singh from the escort carrier Bangalore, "the Devourers are retreating from the second planet. They seem confused by our attack patterns." Rodriguez grinned. "They've only fought prey species before. They don't know how to handle predators." The third wave was perhaps the most important. the diplomats and cultural attachés, accompanied by enough supplies to throw the biggest interstellar party in galactic history. Ambassador Liu Wei stood in the Grand Hall of New Cathara, the hastily constructed refugee capital, watching thousands of aliens sample human cuisine for the first time. Tables groaned under the weight of foods from every Earth culture: pizza, sushi, tacos, curry, barbecue, pastries, and wines from vineyards that had been carefully tended for centuries. "Why?" Vithtal asked, his skin now cycling through warm golden hues as he watched human children teach Kithara younglings how to play football. "Why do you feast with us? You barely know us." Liu smiled, raising a glass of champagne as a human orchestra played alongside Kithara crystal singers. "Because that's what humans do. We fight for what we believe in, we share what we have, and we celebrate survival. Today we're all alive. Tomorrow we'll figure out the rest together." 6 months later, the last Devourer ship fled the system, pursued by a joint human Cathara fleet. The Cathara worlds were rebuilding, their crystalline cities now interspersed with human-designed defensive installations and cultural centers where both species learned from each other. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had answered a desperate plea not just with weapons, but with the three things that defined their species: the bread of compassion, the guns of protection, and the banquets of celebration. And across the stars, other species began to whisper. When the Devourers come for them, they knew who to call.